The battle on the beaches of Normandy has been remembered before, of course, with monuments to those who lost their lives, and events across the region every year that celebrate the fight to liberate France from Nazi Germany. The decade anniversaries draw the greatest interest, and the 70th anniversary is an especially important one for World War II veterans.
Somebody said, "Are you interested in an expense-paid trip back to the 70th anniversary?" And I thought they're kidding. I said, "Well, sure, yeah." And then I didn't hear much about it, and I thought, well, that's somebody else's pipe dream or something.
Many veterans of the war have already died. Those still living realize this anniversary may be their last.
There was no incentive for me to want to go back and visit that again. But the opportunity, I've mellowed through the years, as have we all. And I decided, yes, I would like to go to this.
A group of 22 who fought on D-Day will make the trip back to Normandy together to revisit a time and place they haven't been willing to return to until now. On June 6, 1944, the U.S., Britain, and Canada led the largest amphibious military operation in history. After long months of planning and multiple delays, D-Day had finally arrived. 140,000 men surged into battle in a complex, secret assault. A mission to liberate France and break Hitler's hold on Europe.
My heroes are those men that came across the sand out of the ocean and had to fight their way in under land. I had it easy. They just dropped me in the water.
It was an impossible mission, yet it was one that had to succeed.
There were no shocks because this was the only war we'd ever been in, and we didn't know what was supposed to happen.
I don't know how they did it. They were shooting at those invaders from every direction, every caliber gun you can think of.
I wasn't but 18 years old. Farthest I'd ever been was Columbia, South Carolina, and Greenville, South Carolina. Back then it was just sand and trees and gunfire. I never did think I'd make it back.
The whole beach was lined with LSTs, all of them so close that they were almost touching each other. I'm thrilled over the fact that I could still be here today, and after enduring what I was in.
Now, a group of World War II veterans return to these sands. None of them have been back to Normandy since the war ended. These former soldiers, sailors, and airmen share common concerns about digging up old memories and how they'll be remembered by the French.
I had a bad taste in my mouth for France. During the war, I felt really a coldness.
We weren't treated like we thought we would be, and it might have been part of our fault too, because there were so many of us, and we were sort of unto ourselves.
Each veteran has a companion, a guardian, to help him navigate the trip. Many guardians don't know what to expect. The veterans haven't shared much information about their time in Normandy, much less the war as a whole.
I had learned some about what Daddy did, and I was interested, but I wasn't that interested in military history.
I've known Joe Champy since 2010. Joe does not talk very much about D-Day and beyond. It took him several years of knowing me to even discuss things.
Dad has never talked a lot about the time during the war. He's had mixed feelings about France in general and didn't know if that was a place he wanted to go back to.
Like other visitors to Normandy, this group has plans to see a series of historic sites, starting with the D-Day Museum in Arromanches, location of the Mulberry Harbors, developed by the British to offload supplies during the war.
Just to go to Normandy and see Omaha Beach and all those and hear a guided tour, that would have been wonderful, but it was nothing like this.
When the veterans are mobbed like rock stars, they begin to realize they're more than tourists. They're part of the story.
We had no idea of this reception that we were going to get.
For the first of many times, we kept hearing the expression, "Thank you for what you did. Thank you for our freedom."
To see how people were waiting for these veterans to arrive, they were approaching them almost with reverence.